This episode of The General's Gentleman is sponsored by Galactic Civilizations 3. You are the leader of a spacefaring civilization, where humans and aliens compete for domination of our galaxy. Conquer through culture, diplomacy, technology, or military force. How will you rule your galaxy?
Welcome to The General's Gentleman.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Rise of Nations. We have returned. Every time we cast Rise of Nations, I feel the need to reassure everyone that we are still casting Rise of Nations, despite everyone asking us if we are still casting Rise of Nations.
Everyone's happy. You can imagine the meme of just like someone's room on fire and they're like, this is fine with no Rise of Nations cast by the General's Gentleman. So, not to worry, guys. Your room is on fire no longer. And our players for today, getting us back into the RoN, Ian.
Oh, do the hype thing.
Going to be Ian spawning in Persepolis.
How do I rotate my camera?
He's our Persians.
I don't know how to rotate the camera in Rise of
Yeah, I
Nations.
know, okay.
Fine.
Not a bad attempt, though, so pretty good.
Spawning at the top, our red American, Ctac.
Nicely done. Perfect amount of pause as well after you say the name. Love your work, machine. Love your work.
So, I forget the name of this map, but it has the rivers, and these actually do slow down your movement speed. So, it can be a little bit harder to harass. This is actually an interesting kind of opener that we see here from Ian. Normally, you will see players rush out the commerce upgrade ASAP to really maximize their income, but we see a pretty heavy investment into workers, going to be claiming as many of the ruins as possible.
Yeah, we see on the other side for Ctac, he's going for the more aggressive worker players, looking for relic steals. He was pushing forward, now the scout's going to moving around the different mountains.
Well, he doesn't have any
relic
upgrades.
skills can often be a pretty good way to go.
He's getting his Civic now. Yeah, I don't know why he waited that long to get his upgrades. That's going to slow down his city.
We'll be a little bit late.
This is already halfway done, so Ian definitely being a little bit faster.
Worker scanning continuing. Early game in Rise of Nations is actually pretty intense, as we've found out. So early ruins can give you some pretty huge advantages. The second city done, Kerr, of course, as the Persians. It's the second capital for Ian.
Yeah, having level 2 Civic already completed, Persians having extra bonus food at the start of the game, as well as the Civic research is actually cheaper. So you can double expand very early on. There are a few factions that can do that, such as Bantu and Russia, I believe, are the main two due to their free civics. But Persians definitely can do that. And look at this, we have already the third city being thrown down. And he is vulnerable, I suppose, to an early rush with like just a lot of units early on in the game. But that never really happens unless you're versing a specific faction. Like we see it often with Aztecs. With Romans, I believe, is the other one. Japanese can do it.
Occasionally do it, yeah.
Japanese, that's how you comp stomp. If you can beat, you beat Insane, or whatever the highest difficulty is called, you just go Japanese.
Japanese rush, yeah.
Have you done it?
Huh?
Have you done it?
Yeah. I think we did it together once as well. So,
right,
yeah.
we're like, look how pro we are. We beat
so
two of the hardest bots,
wrecking them.
which are actually insanely hard because they have ridiculous income hacks. So that's going to be completed. And where do we go from here?
Yeah, what's free taxation upgrades as well for man Ian, as the Persians already has decent map control here. We're looking at 28% relative to the 18% of Ctac. So getting that taxation up and running as soon as possible is certainly one way to go.
Does he need the temple for it though?
Yeah, you still need it. You get them for free, but yeah, I'm pretty sure you still need the structure.
Okay, so if he builds a temple, he should get a pretty big boost to his wealth income. Would also push up the borders, so that might be a good idea. Especially if it's going to make it harder for the US player to actually put any buildings on the other side of the river. You can't build, say, any castles or any towers. That's a bit later on, but that would definitely be quite useful to deny your opponent.
Yeah, heading pretty close to his commerce max out now as well. It's Ctac. So pretty much on 100-100. We already see that from Ian. Who will be aging up as well.
Yeah, definitely ahead is Ian. Like he already has his extra commerce, already has the extra city, the extra civic upgrade, but that's to be expected. Americans not exactly good in the early game, but they do have some great advantages to them. Getting extra resource income from military units is very strong. Being able to rush out a free government and get that wonder straight away. So I guess you could actually see some classical age rushes with Americans because they get the despot for free. Where normally having to spend the wealth on getting that despot will slow you down a little bit in terms of your ranged cavalry harassment. And there's, look at that, 42 wealth.
Yeah.
Went up from 24.
Yeah. Free caravans are pretty good, bro. It's not tough for Persians to get the wealth income. So, see a few of these rare resources being taken. We've got copper here. Nothing too interesting.
A lot of metal.
Really, just the metal income, which is gonna help. Pretty small mountains that we see here. Bison as well. Granary research reduced, and the food income there. So we have for our US player.
I get wrecked. Citizens build wonders 10% faster. Joke's on you. You're American.
That's rough.
What about Obsidian? Okay, that one's pretty good actually.
Yeah, Obsidian are good.
You
Additional
get
attack range.
extra attacks. I remember in one of the other casts, I think it was even the latest cast, we asked people what they thought the best one was. I believe it was silver, diamonds, and maybe even papyrus.
Papyrus, yeah, it might have been, yeah.
I think it was those three. There's probably more that I forgot, but oh, look at this.
Seems like everyone has their personal favorite, so it definitely wasn't an all-in-one, this is the best one. It was kind of a bit of a mixed bag of responses, which is cool. So,
yeah, it was sort of a short list.
Yeah,
And-
short list would
and-
be a good way of putting it.
Some benefit the factions more than others. So, alright, we already have the stable in the field. So you know how in Company of Heroes, you're the counter-snipe supervisor? In Rise of
Yes.
Nations, you're the merchant harassment supervisor.
Okay, got it.
Or merchant
Alright.
snipe supervisor.
I
So it's
have
just
to
sort of
say,
snap, isn't
yeah,
it?
I like it. Yeah, no, yeah. I love my new job title machine. Thank you for bestowing it on me. Third city now down for Ctac. I am keeping my eyes peeled for any... at least the colours are suitable. It's easy to see red dots in blue territory and blue dots in red territory, so makes my
Right.
job a bit easier.
Speaking of making your job easier, I'm going to follow this horse archer around, see where he goes. There's some villages nearby. They're not quite exposed, though. The woodcutters camp right next to the city. So there's actually a good place to build a city, is ideally right next to a bunch of trees. Not only for the benefiting of having the... what is that building called? The lumber mill, but also so you can evac into your city pretty early on.
And all hail the Colossus, which has now been thrown down by Americans. It removes the need for that additional commerce upgrade, so clearly see it was a bit of a plan here for Ctac going for that early Colossus.
Yeah, is there something else that you need though? You can't buy and sell. Yeah, see, not quite. You still want to get the commerce
Yeah,
too,
you
so
still
you can
will
buy
need
and
to.
sell,
Yeah,
but it's going to
true.
make it less important. Who's going to bribe this? This is actually the senator.
Yeah, the point blank bribe. Will it go off in time? How low is this
He's
merchant?
bitch slapping him with that green notes. Oh, what? Did he die to the attrition damage? What happened? He didn't bribe him. Or did he delete the unit?
Maybe
you
he did.
can delete the unit.
Yeah, swag.
Nice plays.
Big
yeah.
plays, yeah. The horse archer would rather die than go over to the side of the Americans. I dig that. I mean, especially with Trump in charge. I dig that, man. I feel what you're throwing down.
Wow, yeah. Just on the topic of sick RTS design, in your spectator client, you should definitely be able to navigate the build panels. Look at the tooltips. This is beautiful. Like, coming from Dawn of War 2, where you can't actually see what the support powers are from the replay system, and now we can check everything on the fly, so that's quite nice. The look at this. The night horse is trying to chase the cataphract down. What they should probably do there is walk past him and then attack him from the front.
Yeah, probably going to end up being a mistake as well, because actually not within vision range of the merchant. That's probably a good spot to turn around. Otherwise, it's going to be revealed, and it has been revealed. Light horse can probably go for that one. Whose light horse is that actually? Is that? Oh, right. No,
blue.
that's Ian's light horse. No? Yes, Ian's light horse.
Yeah,
Cool.
look at the hard.
Right, okay.
split.
While I'm on my supervisory role, I see a red dot in blue territory. Oh, it's a scout.
Yeah,
That's
I saw it
disappointing, so,
earlier. Yeah. Just a scout. He can't exactly slap around. He can get some scouting off though. He's going to see the mine. What is he going to see here? I don't think it matters too much though.
It's a good tower, preventing any harassment we often see, especially cavalry attacks coming around the flank and attacking into the base where you tend to have the biggest citizen saturation. We obviously see that here, defending both the mine, obviously very important for the Persians, and the full woodcutters camp as well.
Yeah, it's getting both. I'm surprised he didn't put it over here though, just given that this is still pretty close to the city, as well as the river is going to be blocking, or at least slowing down harassment from the north. Other than that, still the dancing of the senators, looking to bribe some horses. We actually have the 4th city already completed. Again, the Persians having cheaper civic, so can do that much easier.
Plus 82 wealth income. We'll have a bit of a chance to compare the economies. Actually, looking pretty good, Ctac. Impressive wealth income right there.
Yeah, because of his Colossus, it does give you a decent amount, I believe. What is it? 30%.
30%,
so
right, yeah.
that's why Colossus is generally the most sought after of the early wonders. And that was an age upgrade. So now we have Ian on the medieval age, or medieval age. Is that like a UK American thing? Medieval?
Probably, yeah. Unless it's a noob, not noob thing when it comes to pronunciation.
Right.
So it's one of the two. It's hard for us Australians to know. I think it's less excusable if we're in the UK or in America, where we're obligated to know the different pronunciations of our nation. But we get news here very slowly in Australia. They have to ship it over. Take some time for us to work it out.
I saw the funniest meme today. It was like it was something about like best friends. It was like, my friend is away, is in some camp without internet. So my best friend is mailing me memes, and it was like a paper cutout of like memes that was being sent via mail. It was so funny.
Dude, if you were away on camp without internet, I would send you memes.
Would you send me replays too?
No, I could probably do that. I mean, yeah. Replays are pretty small.
Yeah. So we have a 600 wealth float from Ctac. That's not very good. I should definitely spend that on something. Look at the wealth, the knowledge income difference, as you would expect from having such a massive float of wealth.
And even with that being said, there's one maxed out university. We could see another one added on. Americans do get a scholar for free when they build a university.
Oh yeah, receive one free scholar.
Yeah. Yeah, believe there was a militia upgrade coming in. 4th city is still working out pretty well for Ian. Currently at 40% map control compared to the 27% of Ctac. It's looking good in terms of his taxation income. So more he ages up and upgrades, obviously that taxation is just going to keep going up and increasing his wealth income exponentially.
Look at this metal income. He pulls the villages.
Is that
from
double figures?
It's 12.
Oh.
He pulls it from his mine, so a little bit behind in the metal income, unfortunately. Where decent income here for Ian. I think Ian's definitely playing this game better. Really, throughout the entire game, we've seen him have a bit better handle on his economy. The food income is pretty huge too. The timber's slightly behind, but other than that, Ian looking very powerful in this game.
It's a pretty impressive macro game, I have to say. Probably one of the more impressive ones. While not very excusable to float in Company of Heroes 2, it's certainly a dumb thing in Rise of Nations. It's
it is so
a little
hard,
bit more difficult to handle everything. Even looking really good in upgrades as well. So you have to remember there's a bit of float here for Ctac, and obviously he's looking good in terms of his income, but Ian ahead on military, civic, it's looking good. Military, civic, and science. Ahead on all three.
I think after StarCraft, Rise of Nations is the most APM intensive RTS.
Yeah.
You could maybe argue Age of Empires 2, but I say Rise of Nations is more APM intensive
than
Age of Empires.
Definitely. At a high level, it certainly is.
And the combat's also quite tactical.
Yeah.
Whereas the Age of Empires 2 combat, it's kind of cheesy, right? Like it's kind of run back and forwards, fire. Like it's not quite as simulation.
There are a lot of abuse ways of playing Age of Empires 2 combat, if that makes any sense. So
Yeah, I think RoN is definitely underrated compared to Age of Empires as a series.
Yeah, it's definitely more strategic unit combat. Like, there's not a lot of unit micro per se.
Apart from cavalry flanks, that's really about it.
Yeah, it's about it.
But there's also the potential for micro though. Like you can get some really fancy stuff, pulling your weak units back, specific focus firing. The potential is there for micro. There's just so much happening that you don't have the time to invest in it. This was a questionable engagement though. Ian looking a little bit outnumbered. That being said though, just getting the pikeman upgraded now.
Yeah, even this is good though. He's flanking pikeman engagements. Not letting too many of these horse get tied up in combat. Actually going to drop the senator there as well. So overall a well-played engagement. And this entire time, javelins are being thrown and the pikemen are slowly getting taken down here.
Yeah, you can run your cavalry around and duke out the pikemen as the archers are firing at them. I ended up losing some units there in the end. But overall, this is a good fight for him. Of course, bear in mind that he has the better economy behind this. And that is a pretty big rule of RTS. If you are ahead in economy, having an even fight or even a negative fight can actually be worth it.
So then it looks like he could do with some more unit production. With that being said, starting to add on a few more military structures now, but looking amazing.
I'm just enjoying this macro so much from Ian.
Oh.
Here we go. Look at that. It's gorgeous.
Oh, it's looking good. It's looking real good.
Gunpowder Age as well. Light cavalry going to be doing some damage here, but this is a decent amount. But there's no supply here, so the senator moving in, but the senator doesn't give you supply. That's the despot. The senator is the defensive leader.
Another city here to push back the boundaries. Hopefully we see a supply wagon coming up with this selection of troops. I'm not even sure if we have a siege factory at this stage from Ctac. He certainly needs one, taking a decent amount of attrition damage during the last engagement. So Ian here has already aged up.
There is a hotkey that you can press which says go to siege factory, but I don't know them because I just use the numbers, control groups, like number 4 for barracks, 5, 6. Like I know K is barracks. It is nice to flick through tab though, so you can see what the upgrades which are pending are. Couldn't get one of the governments. Probably monarchy at this stage. Supply siege, especially given the fact that Ian's in a commanding position, we could expect to see him looking for some sieges. In which case, then monarchy will benefit that.
Yeah. Potentially, we do see Ctac here increasing his metal income. Indeed, he's throwing down another mining camp.
Yeah, very needed. Still only 66. It's about 1/3. Okay, going for the fight.
Pikemen going to be catching out these cataphracts in the front.
Okay,
Crossbowmen going to be engaged upon.
I like how Ian's pulling back here because they both have healing and they both don't have supply. So whoever's going to be attacking in enemy territory will be at a disadvantage. So there wasn't any reason for Ian to fight there.
Quick little interlude machine. I'm on snipe duties, obviously. Top of the screen.
Oh,
there we go.
good catch, man.
Thank
Sick.
you, my friend. Appreciate it. Obsidian Merchant going down.
Yeah, that's a nice one. That will help him. That will help Ian attack the cities if that drops, because that is giving the free attacks. Yeah, they're really nice harassment there.
Horse archers can be so active. It's just such an annoying unit to deal with. It's like, gotta go to your stable, gotta get a light horse up, and then find the horse archer and then take it out. So
I'm just so glad that the attrition mechanic exists.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, if there was no attrition, it would be so hard to deal with.
Such an important part of the game design.
All the Mongol players are laughing furiously right now. I think they take half attrition damage.
Yeah. Well, they have blood and milk, man. They can survive for like 3 days on that. So, mad dogs. It's very impressive what the Mongols used to be able to do in terms of like the distance that like a single rider could travel on a couple of horses in a very short space of time.
So they actually
survive on,
live off of blood.
Well, they could have like a mix of blood and milk, and I'm pretty sure that's
like
still
their
practiced
enemies.
in some. No, like the horse. They could like cut the horse. You can cut the horse.
Ah.
Like you get the blood and milk. And it's actually a very
Jeez.
nutritious and delicious
But
meal, apparently.
Wouldn't that weaken the horse? Or like, would you kill the horse?
You don't take too much. No, you don't. You just take a little bit of blood, like a little bit of blood out.
Right.
So, just like how humans can donate X amount of blood. I mean, think about how much.
Oh, like
blood,
we donate blood. Yeah.
like how we donate blood. Exactly. So, small plug. Everyone should donate blood. It's a good thing. Like how we donate blood. It's just like, imagine how much blood we can donate, like relative to our size. And then, like, think of how big the horse is and, like, how much blood it could stand to lose. So,
This dragoon is two-shotting the villagers. It's crazy. Because you actually get extra health with the militia upgrade, and I'm sure he doesn't have any of that. Does he even have a tower? Okay, no, he has... Oh, he has level 1 militia. Where is it? I keep going past it. Yeah, so he has level 1.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw it upgrading earlier, so he's had it for a while. What are you upgrading at the top now?
Citizens can become... I thought that passively gave them extra health, or maybe it doesn't. Maybe I just made that up.
Does the first upgrade maybe passively give them extra health or something? I'm not sure. Anyway, the siege factory up and running now for Ian. So firing away with the catapult.
And they obviously get health when they turn to militia.
Yeah.
Well, do they? 50? Oh, I guess not. Okay.
Yeah, I'm really not sure, to be honest. So
either way, they're dying pretty rapidly
Yeah.
to not only the dragoon, but now also to the heavy knight, being pummeled around by a pitchfork, but eventually goes down, but still taking quite a few villages with him. We even have the elephants as well.
Nice. Gun Mahut. Very cool. Cool units.
Good versus heavy infantry, weak versus range.
Archers,
So
yeah.
it's like the opposite of your cavalry.
Yeah.
And it actually makes a lot of sense historically.
Yeah.
You would have like dense formations of elephants
Yeah.
get dense formations of infantry get
Decimated.
crushed and
elephants,
routed.
so, yeah.
And the thing is with dense formations is you can't get out of the way.
Mm.
If an elephant's coming, you're surrounded by people that you're kind of stuck in a
Yeah.
sense. Whereas with light infantry like javeliniers and such, they wouldn't have a dense formation to begin with, so they just get out of the way, throw a bunch of spears or javelins or whatever, at the elephant, and you don't kill the elephant, you piss it off, and then it turns around and runs through the enemies.
Yeah.
I watched Lindy Beige.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people like him. He's a very good YouTuber. He's talking about elephants because he's writing a book about Hannibal, a graphic novel.
Cool.
So the siege has been going on for a while. Only one cannon, well, bombard in this case. So it's been slow, but it's getting there.
Baltimore will eventually fall, and we also have to remember is that goodbye metal income machine. It's going to be a big problem, already an issue for Ctac. He's managed to build it up to 220, but that's entirely off the back of this forward mining camp here.
Yeah, that's huge. There's a lot of people mining there. There's actually a smelter there as well. Going for the city and is being conceded. There is the fortress and the tower. Oh, there we go. Now has the Continental Marines, the Enlightenment Age units. This should be the stand of Ctac here. He has the military buildings behind the city, but it's already been taken.
Behind in terms of upgrades is our man Ian. Needs to add some more stuff on their bomber. It's going to be setting up interesting positioning on the fortress. You normally sit a little bit further forward to stop the assimilation, but I guess if it's not going to be contested, it's actually not in a bad spot, because this is going to allow Ctac to eventually collapse upon these bombards from the side. They do have to go a little bit further forward than they'd like to assault this fortress. And the army currently out of vision range as well for Ian, so it could come out of nowhere and just assault this army.
So it's Continental Marines and it's cuirasses. What's this here? Musketeers, cuirasses. So these elephants won't be too useful in this case. Looks like he could actually take this. The city lost? Did he have a militia that took it?
Yeah, well, it wasn't up to wasn't on Baltimore.
Okay, there's
Now
actually
it's reduced again. So.
there's a couple of towers too. So looking for the engage. The army's being scouted. He's turning to engage.
Get these bombards potentially into a better position.
This is going to be
Cannon in fact.
a very important battle here. Ctac has to win this one. And we may see some Fusiliers being rallied forward. Yep, nice work from Ian. He sees how many cuirasses there is. So city's been retaken.
He's got to stay on it. These Minutemen are getting work done.
They have 65 health, so I think I was right. Oh, look at the spies.
3 of them.
Does he time? Oh, sorry, my Facebook's on. Does he time the bribes with the attack, or does he go for it beforehand?
Triple Mahout cap.
But is that what he wants, though?
And by the way, just for fun,
What?
there's another settlement that needs our help.
Alright, Facebook's off. My apologies.
Right.
Just making sure everything's actually working properly before I resume. Alright. So, there's another city.
There is. New York, in fact, on its funnily enough, on its own little island off to the side of the rest of this. So yeah, this is a very important engagement. Already, the workers have been run off. We saw a heavy focus onto that mining camp, which already went down. So there's no villagers mining that, which means the metal income must be very poor.
Oh wow, these bribes, they didn't go to plan.
Oh.
They're trying to bribe in front of a whole line of musketeers.
And the musketeers were not impressed.
Yeah, they turned around and just gunned them down. I think I have Facebook on two browsers open. Anyway,
that's next level. Getting double notifications.
okay, I had it on Firefox and Chrome. Now it's off.
Right.
So the game's gonna end anyway.
Look, the Minutemen are back to help out Baltimore, but I think you're right there, Machine. Look at this knowledge float as well. That's an American knowledge float, but he has to spend all of his resources. Oh, look at the macro. The macro from Ian is majestic.
Perfect.
So from Ctac, it's just he'd love to spend that knowledge. I'm sure he would, but he doesn't have the wealth to invest into science. He can't look for upgrades when he's losing his cities.
Yeah, I think the problem there is if the spies went for the forward line, went for the cavalry or the elephants, they would have actually got the bribes off. And that could have made a big difference there. But because they went for the musketeers, but more importantly, because Ian had really good reactions and he just gunned them down, he target fired them. Or maybe they did it automatically, depending on what else was nearby. The spies didn't come through, but I don't think it even mattered because the economy was just so much better for Ian, who played an absolutely fantastic game.
Very impressive. So just have a look at New York. Do we see any more economy going down up there? More farms, interesting. Yeah, might as well. Certainly the point where I like to trade in some knowledge. 3,000 knowledge float now. Crazy good income, but it's just not going to pan out. And even then, it's pretty similar to what Ian's is.
Well, with knowledge, all you can do is tech up, and
Yeah.
if you need to scramble a defense instantly,
Doesn't help.
you're bound to float that up. No gays in room. Well,
That's an interesting taunt.
yeah. GG.
GG. Cool.
I think we about summed it up. Not much more to say, really.
Yeah, pretty much covered it at the end of it. But very well played game by Ian. So
Especially since the army died, and then that went a lot of the income for the Americans. They do rely on having a big standing army to get that extra income. But he was in an awkward spot. But maybe what he should have done, Ctac, was rather than investing so much in defending the city, he could have actually, put his castles, put his towers over here, build the mine on the other side.
yeah, exactly.
You do lose part of the mine if you lose the other half of the mountain, but you would still have a decent amount of middle income there. And then he would have had more time. That would have given him more income based off of the army that he had, and then he may have overtaken, or at least would have been able to hold off for a little bit longer. But ultimately, Rise of Nations, it's a game hard to come back in. And but not only was it better economy, it was nice fight, nice engagement. There was also some beautiful harassment behind this. Ian constantly was putting pressure on. Look at
the Dragoon's still alive.
I see. Yeah, that Dragoon. Maybe it's a different one. Maybe it's not. So just an excellent game by Ian through and through.
Impressive. So thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you've enjoyed our content.